Let's talk about the birds and the bees.
We have a crashing insect and bird population that's happening on this planet. And more essentially here in southwestern Ontario or anywhere west from here all the way down to the States. All right, we have down to about 3% coverage of meadowlands. And with 3% coverage of meadowlands, that's the only spot where insects or birds can live. So you start driving west of here and you see nothing but, cut fields and cut ditches and no fence rows. There is no place for insects or birds to live. And, I say, oh, well, do we need them or what? Well, I guess that's really the start of the food chain because, without the insects, all right, the birds can't survive. All right, the birds need to feed insects to their babies. All right, so without that, and now we all have these 5,000 different invasives that have come into the country. Now you got a plant that this insect's been eating, this certain plant for the last 10 million years, and you're bringing in a plant from China or from Vietnam, and it's going, no, I can't eat that plant, and that insect dies, and in turn, if that insect dies, that bird species dies. And it's a revolving thing. Why don't we start putting back the habitat back in, all right? We're storing the habitat, putting the 50 to 60 different native plants back in, and then nature will start taking care of itself. So we need to provide the habitat in that area. So that's what we started doing. That's our initiative. We started now. We have 21 acres planted right now, and we got 7 more sites, and we're looking for people and corporations to sponsor these sites, and this will carry on. Could you imagine in Ontario having 1,000 sites here? That's why I plan on having 1,000 sites, 1,000 little parks. Now they're going to be flowering from spring to fall. 1/3 of all the foods that we eat are pollinated. They have to be pollinated. You wouldn't have all these different fruits and vegetables and whatnot without the pollination of the different plants. But all the insects, it's not just bees, it's insects, it's deer, it's wildlife, it's everything that pollinate. Even people pollinate when they walk through a field. All right, but the major pollinators is native bees. Native bees are the ones that I didn't even talked about. All right, the native bees is 400 different species. These don't even sting you. All right, they're not protecting a hive. All right, they live in cocoons. All right, they're more endangered, and they pollinate 100 times more than a regular honeybee because they go to every plant, not just one apple tree or whatever, one blossom. They pollinate all of them. So all these insects are so important, and we're wiping out thousands of them before we even got to know what they do and what their role is. I want to leave this place a better place. I got 2 beautiful little grandchildren. I've lived in the country my whole life. We've raised every animal from deer to raccoons to, we've been environmentalists. Nature lovers, all right? I've got a pet crow right now. I just survived. I just brought back from death, all right? That was abandoned, So I have a heart for these things, and we're all connected with every living thing that's on the earth. So you keep on going through life and just tromping on everything that's alive. We're going to have one dead world.
Visit us or call to learn more.